In a future not so far from our own, humanity achieved the unthinkable, eternal life. What was once the ultimate dream became reality through groundbreaking scientific advancements. A world free from the constraints of mortality promised endless opportunities for growth, exploration, and happiness. Yet, the true cost of this seemingly miraculous gift remained hidden, slowly revealing itself over time. The discovery was heralded as the greatest achievement in human history. A team of brilliant scientists led by Dr. Satoshi unlocked the secrets of cellular regeneration. By manipulating the genetic code, they found a way to prevent the natural decay of cells, effectively halting the aging process. The process, called biostasis, was initially tested on animals with astounding success. Eventually, the first human trials began, and the results were nothing short of miraculous. Biostasis clinics sprung up worldwide, offering the promise of eternal youth. Governments endorsed the procedure, seeing it as a means to eliminate disease and extend productive lifespans indefinitely. For years, it seemed as if humanity had transcended its biological limitations, entering a new era of prosperity and enlightenment. By the 150th year of biostasis, laws were passed, mandating that all newborns enter biostasis instead of receiving traditional vaccinations. The procedure was seen as a safeguard against the myriad diseases that once plagued humanity. As decades passed, subtle signs began to emerge that eternal life was not without its consequences. Satoshi, the first recipient of biostasis, was initially a testament to the procedure's success. He continued his work well into his 200s, contributing significantly to the fields of literature and philosophy. However, as Satoshi reached his 250th year, he noticed changes. Minor forgetfulness, once dismissed as trivial, became more frequent. His once vibrant mind began to experience moments of confusion. His family noticed his increasing agitation and bouts of inexplicable fear. These signs were the first whispers of the horrific reality that lay ahead. For over a century, biostasis had brought about a golden age of human achievement and longevity. However, around 300 years of widespread implementation, a startling discovery shook the world. The third generation of offspring, all born to parents who had undergone biostasis, faced widespread infertility. Scientists scrambled to understand the cause, but the genetic manipulations that granted eternal life had unforeseen consequences on human reproduction. This meant that no new humans were being born in the traditional sense, as the natural cycle of birth and growth was supplanted by eternal stasis from the moment of birth. By the age of 400, Satoshi's condition had worsened. His skin, once flawless, began to sag and develop an unusual pallor. Doctors were baffled, unable to explain these anomalies as they insisted that biostasis was foolproof. Despite their assurances, Satoshi's health continued to decline. The once bright and articulate man became a shadow of his former self. His family, desperate to hold on to the man they loved, sought every possible remedy. They spent fortunes on experimental treatments and radical therapies, all in vain. Satoshi's mind, once sharp and clear, descended into a haze of hallucinations and paranoia. Satoshi's deterioration accelerated as he approached his 500th year. His body became a grotesque parody of youth. Saggy, wet skin hung in pockets atop his bones, and his flesh grew thin and translucent. Flies buzzed around him, drawn to the sour stench of decay that now permeated his presence. Each breath he took was a labored gasp, a reminder of his perpetual torment. Memories of his past life slipped away, replaced by disturbing hallucinations and terrifying thoughts. The burning sensation in his veins was a constant reminder that his suffering was unending. He could no longer recognize his loved ones, and his once bright mind was reduced to a primal state of fear and pain. As more people began to experience similar symptoms, society faced a profound crisis. Different cultures reacted in various ways. Some developed rituals and customs to cope with the inevitability of decay, providing comfort to the afflicted. These societies found a way to embrace the reality of eternal life, developing psychological tools to manage the horror of perpetual decay. Others, however, struggled to accept the truth. They resorted to extreme measures, such as experimental treatments, in a desperate attempt to delay the inevitable. These efforts only heightened their psychological distress as they witnessed their loved ones deteriorate despite their best efforts. On a particularly cold night, Satoshi lay in his bed, trembling with the cold that crept into his bones. His body, a husk of what it once was, writhed in agony. He could feel the burning sensation in his veins intensifying, a cruel reminder that his torment was far from over. He closed his eyes, trying to hold on to the last remnants of his identity. "Here you are again, life. You've never let me down," he whispered with a smile of green gums. With those words, Satoshi curled into a fetal position, waiting for the night to consume him once more. His body trembled with the agony of decay, and his mind was a whirlwind of fear and confusion. He knew that his journey was far from over, that he was trapped in a perpetual state of twilight with no end in sight. What was once seen as the ultimate human aspiration had become a horrific journey of torment. The reproductive crisis and the mandated biostasis for newborns revealed the true cost of this supposed miracle. The Twilight Crisis showed that death, in its finality, was a mercy denied to those who had achieved eternal life. As Satoshi lay in his bed, waiting for the cold of night to consume him, he realized that the true horror of eternal life was not the physical decay, but the destruction of his mind and identity. In the end, the pursuit of immortality led to unimaginable horrors, and the dream of eternal life became a never-ending nightmare.